edge going today early, you think?
I think so, yeah. Most of the scouting people I talk to think.
Hey everyone, welcome into TexAgs Rewind. David Nuno here. I've got Matthew Dawson at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Favorite part of the show?
I mean, the baseball bunch, pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Really good.
Billy Liucci's always a good have
I like
in
that.
the studio. I mean,
Nick, are you around to tell us your favorite part?
Yeah, my favorite part was Matthew trying to shill to everyone back here that Caleb Williams was the better pick. I think it was Jaden Daniels, or as Kay Nagley pointed out, Bo Nix probably would have been the better pick up there.
Well, Gregg Olson was on the show. That's my pick for the best interview of the day. He's from ESPN. And Billy Liucci was great.
Why were you so? Why was there such a long pause?
Oh, I wanted to marinate.
Gregg Olson.
Marinate.
And Billy Liucci.
And Billy Liucci. Watch, I'm going to do it again. And Olin Buchanan. All on the TexAgs Rewind.
Well, we kind of spoke about it earlier. I'm
did.
banking on double figures run scoring this week. Maybe in all 3 games for the Aggies.
Okay. Well, that's what I had.
I'm banking.
I had double digits to start the weekend tonight. They're going to score double digits, which is not going out on a limb. To go along, I'm adding one more layer to it.
Okay.
Ryan Brauninger, 6 innings, 8 strikeouts.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I'd like to see 10.
Yeah.
But I recognize this offense is legit. I'm banking on the 8 strikeouts in the 6 innings.
I'm feeling it.
Are you feeling it?
You know what would be great, though, is if they got through today without Evan Aschenbach having to pitch. That would be great.
Win the series. Whatever it takes. If that means today, if that means tomorrow early you use them and you're not, whatever it takes.
No,
win
I'm
the
not
series.
saying don't use them.
Oh, I know.
I'm just saying I hope they don't.
Save them.
I hope they're in a position where they don't even need to play him.
Right.
Because he's so good.
He is really good.
I want to save him.
I had a note here on pitching that I wanted to bring up. Let's see if I can find it right here. Because people have been worried about the starting rotation, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the year, the starting rotation trio has a 12-2 record. Is that good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
3.93 ERA.
All right.
And 160 strikeouts. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty.
What's the bases on balls?
I don't have that in front of me.
Yeah,
but it's low. They're number 2 in the country in walks.
Here's
as a staff.
Here's the beautiful thing is they don't have to be that even though they can be, they don't have to be that staff that holds you to 3 runs.
Offensively, A&M, is second in walks with 278. But I believe the pitching staff, Matthew, if you can fact check me, is pretty much up there as well. If you can look at that.
How many games would Nolan Ryan have won had he had the offensive support?
Well,
these Aggies provide.
In today's baseball, though, at least in the major leagues, it'd be like, you got to leave after 5 innings.
Well, you kind of expect it out of Laviolette and Montgomery. Grahovac being a freshman and doing what he's doing, it's a little bit of what Laviolette did last year. So, solid players, really good. They were the ones that had the off night. Everybody else, picked up the slack against Houston. And it was kind of funny where finally late, I think they batted back-to-back doubles with Jace and Braden putting on that 13th run, I believe. But other than that, they've been dead silent. And I don't know. It was a fun game for me to watch because, I saw Appel last year while he was at Penn. Burton's obviously a good player. Sorrell, I don't know if he had a coming out party, but man, he had some impressive at bats against some left-handed arms from Houston that were pretty good.
Yeah, Greg, we got Georgia coming to town this week. I'm assuming you've seen Georgia. If not, you probably have read up or heard some things about them. Any thoughts on on that series coming up?
For me, it's Charlie Condon's really good. Their 1-2 punch is every bit probably as good as your guys's. I've seen him once, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything about him. I've seen him for one night on a Thursday night against Missouri. Their offense is really good, led by the 2 guys at the top of the lineup. And Charlie Condon is, as good as Braden Montgomery is. And it's a lot of fun to watch guys at that level You know that it's not going to be very long. You know,
Offensively, eyeballs that people are going to be paying attention to.
Which is why I'm so surprised in looking at the rest of the SEC schedule this weekend that none of these games are nationally televised. They're all streaming on SEC Network Plus, but you have a very rare trio of power hitters playing this weekend in Lavalette, Montgomery, and Charlie Condon, who is probably going to be the first overall pick in the 2024 Major League Baseball draft. Braden Montgomery is going to be a first rounder. Jace Lavallette's going to be a first rounder next year. Gavin Grahovic potentially the year after that. And the star power doesn't just end there. Scott, you could help me with some of the names. It's not just Charlie Condon on this Georgia roster that is doing all the damage. Yeah. They are closing. A&M, we're talking about chasing the 1999 home run record, program home run record. Georgia's already 8 away from equaling their program's record with 14, 15 games left in the regular season. These guys are insanely good, and it's a very rare weekend in college baseball that is, they're appearing more frequently now than they ever have because the caliber of player is so much better. Coach Schlossnagle calls it the golden age of college baseball, and he's right. But he mentioned, yesterday at his press conference about Veritek and Garcia Parra playing on those Georgia Tech teams together. And then last year you had those LSU-Florida matchups with 4 first-rounders in it. It's a very, very rare weekend in college baseball. And if you're a college baseball fan, you should appreciate it and just enjoy it because these dudes aren't going to be here forever. They're special players. They're rare players. And what they can do is absolutely insane.
Colby Branch and Corey Collins, a couple of their studs.
Yeah, and the other thing is, everything you said is right, and it's another weekend in the SEC.
Yes, that's true.
And that's the great thing about the talent that is being brought into this league is you see that week after week.
Edge going today early, you think?
I think so, yeah. Most of the scouting people I talked to think. There were a couple that thought no one really expected he would slip into the first, but there were a couple people. You never know, but almost a consensus is second. I mean, I think he'll be the first linebacker taken today. So with that said, the odds are really high that he'll go in the second round, which he's a perfect case of someone that coming back for that one more year really helped. And also in the land of NIL, and look, prices just keep going up. Okay. A&M lost a receiver this week to a team in the conference. Like, prices keep going up. And Edge would have gotten even more this year. But to come back for NIL money, which again, like a linebacker of his caliber, had he come back this year, I don't know how much you're talking, but I would say you're talking probably for like before he was, now if he came back, he'd really cash in. But like coming back last year, I bet he'd have made, he could have probably gotten 150 more this year. Thank you. This is the draft.
Callie Gardner, she's awesome.
Callie's the best. So anyway, he could have gotten a lot more. My point being, like for a guy like an Edger and Cooper, come back. If you're not going to go in the first round, if you're not a lock to go in the second, so if you're a third or lower and you haven't capped out, come back and raise your damn stock. Have your best year as your last year.
Sure. Yeah.
Put all of that experience to use. Get that hunger to know this is it for me. So this offseason, I'm going to bust my ass to be the best player I can be, and I'm going to put all that experience to use. I'm going to put the fact that I'm 21 years old playing against a bunch of 18-year-olds or 22 in some instances, and I've got all these SEC snaps, and I know exactly what to expect, and I'm back in a familiar defense. Do all of those things. Negotiate an NIL deal with the program that needs you. And I'm not just saying A&M needed Edge. They did. But every good program needs their best players to come back for one more year.
All right, Nick, you can tell the people what to do because Dawson has stolen all the thunder today.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess like, comment, subscribe, watch all of our YouTube videos. share with your friends, follow us on Twitter and stuff. What are you grabbing?
I'm grabbing paper so I can make the studio look good because Braden Montgomery and the guys are coming in.
Okay,
so,
well.
TexAgs Rewind. Bye.
See ya.